Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings, the Third Age walkthrough. We are, I don't know, I'm guessing we're in Moria somewhere. uh, I'm trying to figure out exactly. Alright. So we're, just past the secret book, I believe it was, right?
What do we have here?
Can't you tell by the wrapping of the shaft? It's the last axe ever forged in Moria. A respected ranger.
I'm sorry, my friend. I meant no disrespect.
Alright, so we got a little scene there with, and we pick up the, what is this, the Third Age Dwarven Steel Walking Axe, and I use this thing forever. Well, maybe not forever, but I'm still using it, and I'm quite a few hours past this point. You know, whether or not that's something that you want to do, that is completely your choice. The reason why I still use it, though, is for the speed. It's got the best speed stat for the foreseeable future. Now, if you're going with a more physical Hadhod, that's going to be a different. You may want to go with something else because the damage on this thing will get outclassed. I don't know how long. I don't know in how long, but you know it usually doesn't take too many weapon upgrades for that damage to kind of start becoming a problem. So again, you know, you may not get as much use out of it as I did, but that you know, obviously the reason why is because I went with a more spirit power focused Hadhod, and I really didn't care about the damage on the axe. That said, though, you know, Hadhod does have crippling blow, and that thing is pretty awesome. So, alright, anyways. Let's chop down some more goblins, shall we? I just noticed, too, that I may be wrong, but it sure looks like the axe that Hadhod was using before this one, the kind of like the dual-sided axe. It looks a lot like the one that Gimli uses in Helm's Deep. So I'm not 100% sure if it is the exact same, but it sure looks like a very similar sprite, I guess. Right, looks like I'm bringing in Idril for some stunning strikes for the just to get her some EXP here. Oh, nice, learned Old Toby. So that I most likely will be spamming Old Toby for quite some time. That stuff is amazing. All right. Looks like Elagos got a level. Not too bad, not too bad. And what was that? I missed what that said there. That was obviously, well, it was a quest, but I'm not sure what that exactly said. I look away for a second and I miss stuff like that. Alright, let's see, what are we going to craft next? I honestly don't find elf medicine to be that great. And unfortunately you have to do 125 crafts with that in order to learn it. Or sorry, you have to do 125 crafts to learn it, not with it. That wouldn't make sense, but anyways. I do end up getting it eventually, but that is literally the last item that I learn. I just, honestly, like I said, I don't find it that useful. Especially when you've got somebody like Idril that can, you know, cast Resurrection essentially on somebody. Or Power of the Valor, as it's called in this game. And, you know, not only does that give them full health, but it also gives them full AP. So Again, that blows elf medicine right out of the water. Oh, nice. Was that a double crit? Double crit on Stunning Strike? Not too shabby. Oh, the big miss. I feel like, and I don't know if it's because of the speed or it may be Company Valor. I'm not sure. Allegedly, Company Valor is supposed to help with your, with enemies missing you. I don't know. I would say that in this playthrough, it did feel to me like I was missed a lot more than in previous playthroughs. And I'm not 100% sure on the Valor, but I would say that it is a strong possibility that it does work. I know there was some. I've read some arguments on whether or not it actually had any effect on characters' misses, but I don't know. It's hard to say. But like I said earlier, it felt to me like enemies were missing me a lot more than previously or in previous playthroughs. And I know I didn't really in other playthroughs. I know I didn't use buffs as well as I should have or as often, and especially not as often as this playthrough. I'm going obviously like gangbusters on that. But anyways, let's continue on here. Let's chop down some wargs. Toss out some more Company Valor for whatever reason. I'm not sure there. Maybe was Hadhod not in? That may have been it. That's really the only, I guess maybe a slight frustration is that, you know, the buff, well, and maybe that's asking for too much, but, you know, the buff's not affecting party members that aren't currently on the field. You know, again, that very well may be asking for too much there. But, you know, typically I'll toss out a Valor, and then, you know, I'll end up swapping like somebody like Hadhod in that kind of needs it, and you know, it can be a little frustrating, but yeah, that's the name of the game. And you just have to, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of times where if I would have planned out my turns a little better, it wouldn't have been as much of an issue. But there it is, Crippling Smash. Alright, so from this point on, I'm sure, or at least I'm hoping, I am going to abuse the living crap out of that skill, because it's so good. Alright, what are you going to learn next here? Of these three, I guess Hue Armor would be okay, but if you want to get down deeper into like your counterattack, or Durin's Wrath is pretty good. That's I think it's got a stun. It's a 2-hit and a stun. So unfortunately, if you really want to get into that stuff earlier, you would have to learn something like Stone Hewer or Mountain Rage first. Again, I don't know. Obviously the choice is yours, but I didn't really feel like either of those two skills were all that great. I mean, really, once you get Crippling Smash, I don't know. I just really like that skill. I like, and that kind of goes along with how I like to play, you know, my characters. I like to go for damage avoidance, as opposed to maybe like big hits with long cooldown times. So that's why, you know, you'll notice I favor things like Crippling Smash instead. You know, unfortunately they're very low damage, but the enemies don't get turns in between. Or it helps to make sure enemies don't get turns in between, I should say. Alright, and here is the long trek back to the... Again, I'm not sure if it's called the Throne Room. I'm not really 100% sure on what this final room is actually called, but we're going to get some really, really good armor for Gimli. And I'm not sure if I mean, obviously there were other items inside there, but we already robbed those treasure chests. So, You know, had I been a little bit more efficient, I would have saved that room for, you know, after we had taken care of the other two paths, but, you know, unfortunately it's been a billion years since I've played this, so. A billion years. Ridiculous guy, right? I don't think it's really been a billion years. Anyway. Alright. I guess this fight looks like the same old stuff here. Got a couple of wargs and a couple of archers. As usual, the archers don't pose much of a threat. To be honest, I don't know if I'd really say that the orcs pose much of a threat, or, sorry, the wargs pose much of a threat either, but... Man, they just... Again, I don't know if it's... Look at that! And I don't know if that's the speed helping me out. I'm not really sure, but, you know, in the character sheet, when you hover over speed, it doesn't actually say that, you know, it helps your characters to dodge more. It says it helps more with, or it helps with ranged and, is it melee defense? I'm gonna have to, hang on, I'll bring it up here real quick just so I can read exactly what it says. But maybe that's what that meant. Maybe that means that it helps you to dodge abilities, or, yeah, look at this! 3 misses in a row? I feel like now I'm just gonna get annihilated. And he won't avoid anything for the next, you know, 10 fights straight. We'll see. Alright, stats. Let's see here. Speed increases melee and ranged defense, decreases time between attacks, and increases initiative. So, I don't know exactly what that means, I guess. Increases melee and ranged defense. So does that mean that they avoid attacks more? I don't know. Or does it reduce the damage that, you know, those kind of attacks do? I don't know. It sure seems like I am just avoiding hits quite a bit. Again, not really sure if that's got anything to do with my character's... actually, that very well could. So, I read somewhere that what Valor actually does is increases your dexterity. And, I don't know. To me, that doesn't say that that's going to help me, though, with avoiding, you know, hits and misses. And again, that's just something that I read. I can't say that that's confirmed anywhere or not. And I'm certainly not doing my own tests just to find out, although that would be interesting. That would maybe make an interesting playthrough. Go like, I don't know, like literally all your points into speed or something, and I don't know. That's a tough sell. That's a really tough sell. You really would be gimping your offense by quite a bit if you did something like that, but anyways. How are we doing here? Oh, Endure Flame. Yeah, so anytime you see me cast Endure Flame, the only reason for that is because I'm trying to get some more points in the Hadhod Spirit ability. Oh, wow! And I actually finished this without Barithor in my current party. So my only, one gripe about this, and it's very minor, is that you can't swap the essentially your character lineup between battles. And what I mean by that is that so now when we go into our next battle, it's going to be Hadhod, Elagast, and Idril, and that's it. There's no swapping that, or, you know, changing it up in between. So you better know at the end of fights who you want for the next battle coming up. So, you know, you know, is it that big of a deal? Not really. You know, would I ever say that it completely screwed me? No, absolutely not. But it would be kind of something nice, because I mean, in all honesty, I really like to keep Barithor in at all times, and then I like to swap, you know, other party members in and out because he's the one doing the buffing. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. And it's pretty easy to swap him in at the beginning of a battle anyway. You know, essentially whoever gets their turn first, if I really want Barithor in, I can swap him in. And then the cool thing about that too is, you know, it's not like it takes up a turn to do something like that. So it's not something that you necessarily have to worry about. You just swap them in and buff away and do whatever you want to do. All right, finally getting towards the where we need to go here. I feel like we're finally making some ground. This this side of Moria feels like it really drags on, and I think it's because of those different pathways, and you know, just the fact that you end up doubling back for two passages. Normally, you know, I don't think you get something, you don't really get that feel as long as you've got a flow, you know. But retracing steps kind of gets that, I don't know, that dragged on feeling, I suppose. Anyways. Alright, here's where we're gonna get Hadhod's armor.
We have found it, at last.
What is this? Never before have I seen such armor.
It is yours now, in memory of your people.
Aye, in memory of them all.
Alright, finally, boy, it has been a long time coming. I really like this set, or this, how this stuff looks. It's really only these two pieces, but, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't say that the rest of his armor necessarily matches with it, but look at that stuff. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Wouldn't even say Hadhod's necessarily my favorite character in this game, but I like this set of armor, and then like I said earlier, he's got a helmet coming up that looks so cool. And I don't know, I feel like he's the best looking character in the game. Boy, I think I might have a little bit of a dwarf crush. Oh well.
I believe we are here, dwarf. No more secrets.
Aye. There through our craft lies the hidden door.
Andalou Even.
This road leads to the Great Hall of Records, where we are likely to find yet other secrets.
Alrighty, so there we are. And like I said earlier, I think it's I think you have to have all the runes in order to get the armor, and you have to find the magic, or the secret book, or the Book of Secrets, or whatever it was called, in order to actually open up that passageway. And you know, I guess what goes along with that though is the whole whatever Hadhod said to Idril, something about the real, or you'll never get the power behind the throne, or whatever that quote was that he said. But yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to be some sort of switch or something, but anyways, that's how we can progress along. Alright, so we got a veteran, as usual. I like to, you know, sleep him. He's, in all honesty, he's the most dangerous of these three. And then, did I use a crippling blow right off the bat, too, to knock that warg's turn back? It sure looks like it. Yeah, crippling smash, there we go. So here's what you'll see me typically do, is, you know, essentially each character gets to tie down their own enemy, and you know, in order, if you want to make sure that enemies don't get turns, you have to essentially you know, pay attention to what you're pay attention to what you're doing. Yeah, weird. Anyways, You know, if you crippling smash one warg and you stun the other, basically when, you know, whoever performed that action needs to stay on the same enemy if you want to keep them locked down. Because otherwise, if you try to switch it up midway, again, unless they've got haste, unless your characters are hasted, then you know, if they're hasted, then that rule doesn't necessarily apply. But you know, generally speaking, if your characters are not hasted, you're going to want to keep focused on the target that they were already on. Mountain Shield. I don't remember what Mountain Shield was. I think that's the really expensive one that, and it's awesome. Ah, did I forget to cast Valor? I bet I did. So now I'm missing again. And it looks like, did this guy wake up? Yeah. Ow! I guess there's no need to worry about that guy anymore. Alright, so round 2. Oh, I got him that time. And so this is what you'll notice, though. From this point on, my characters, especially Barathor, not necessarily Elagast. There was, I guess, a little bit of a time here, or a short period of time where Elagast does a little bit of missing as well. And I got a little frustrated with it, and I said, all right, well, fine, because I was pumping all of his points into speed. And you know, at a certain point, I just said, all right, enough is enough, and I started pumping points into his dexterity instead. And then from that point on, I don't think I ever had really any issues with him missing. You know, maybe one or two here and there, maybe once out of, I don't know, 30 or 40 battles, probably more like 40. So I would say an acceptable amount. All right, let's see what we got here. Something for Idriel. Raging Waters Pendant. I don't think I don't equip this. I'm nearly 100% certain. The other pendant that she's wearing right now just has way too much speed on it to give up. Yeah, Spirit Calling. I used this for a long time. And I mean, honestly, when it comes to Idriel too, it's rare that you have to make decisions like that. In all honesty, I guess I would almost say for every single character, you've got basically an accessory. In Idriel's case, it's pendants. And typically what they do is, so, you know, sometimes, yeah, they will give you a decent amount of armor. Some of them not so much, though. Like, I don't know if Barathor's rings give him very much armor or not. I don't really remember. But normally they just have huge, like, stat fluctuations. And what I mean by that is, in this case, Idriel's pendant that she was wearing already has a ton of speed on it. And this new one had, what was that, like Constitution and was it Strength or something like that? I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't paying enough attention to it. But you know, obviously, being that I go for more speed and spirit with Idriel, that wasn't something that I was willing to swap in. So, and like I said, basically everybody has one piece of equipment that's kind of like that typically has a ton of like stats. And maybe not necessarily a whole lot of armor. In some cases, yes, they do. But for the most part, I feel like those were designed to. They're almost designed to. You know, I'll almost say spec out your characters specifically, or I don't know. Maybe that's not a good way to describe it. But you know, obviously in this case, for Idriel anyway, I like to do speed and spirit, so I'm sticking with the old one. Alright. Anyways. Back to combat, right? Let's get to the good stuff. Alright, yeah, so like I was saying earlier, I think from this point on, hopefully anyway, I did a fairly good job of sticking with, you know, crippling smash with Hadhod. And, you know, obviously starting out with a sleep arrow on Elagast and then swapping into crippling shot. Boom! Nighty-night. Alright, so basically this, yeah, this, once I got that first orc down, goblin, the battle was more or less under control, so at that point it was time to swap Idril in, and for the most part, like I said in some of the other videos, I'm more or less done with Idril's sword abilities. I don't know, her, the way number one, the way I build her, she's so, she's so oriented towards spirit powers that, I don't know. It's nice. I will say it was nice. I've never really gone this deep with the sword tree this early, and I felt like it paid off. She did a really good job with it, and it really helped out. That stunning strike was really nice. Again, and that's more because of the way I play. If you want to do physical Idril and go super deep into the swordcraft tree, by all means go right ahead. You're gonna want to back that up with some dexterity. But for the most part, from this point on, I would say I really start to ease up on her sword abilities and focus much more on the spirit powers. So, you may see some sword abilities used here and there, but for the most part, those days are coming to a close. Yeah, here you go. So look at Elagast. I'm up into the 70s on speed and only 40 dexterity. That actually does become a problem. And I'm not really sure when that was, but I can't imagine it's much longer. And I vaguely mentioned it in, well, maybe not vaguely, but I mentioned it in one of the other videos too. But try to stay on top of your passives. There's some that are just not all that useful, and you're just going to be a lot better off, staying on top of those, making sure that you're learning the right ones. Because they're not really like the other skills in that they're just not as flexible. And what I mean by that is, yeah, okay, you might dump a couple of skills into somebody's swordcraft tree that you didn't necessarily mean to, and then you go in there and, okay, well, I need to learn. But the plan was to learn something else. Well, that's fine, but the problem with leveling, or the problem with the passives, is it's all about the amount of leveling that you do. So that can become, a bit of an issue. You're definitely going to want to save your game here at this save sphere, because there is a fixed encounter here going through the door. But I keep seeing that chest and thinking that I didn't open it, but I'm fairly certain that I did. Like I said, I was trying to be really thorough in this area. It's a lot of pillars, and I didn't want to, miss any treasure chests that may have been hiding around them. But how many treasure chests were there here? 2? Was it 2 or 3? Anyways, I think I got them all. Alright, so this is a spot I would say, you're going to want to make sure you save here. West Moria Dwarodelf? Dwarodelf. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just a retarded guy. Mentally challenged guy, sorry. Alright. This fight is not too difficult, but we've obviously got a lot of targets here. The goblins in the back, not a big deal. Your primary targets are the guy on the left. Yeah, this is a bad choice. I should have slept this guy in the back. I should have slept the guy in the front left. Because he's the dual wielder with the stun strike. Although here I guess is my answer to stunning strike. So stand fast will obviously prevent that. And then here's your other actual important target. The caster up in the front. So The caster up in the front, I would say, so he's going to be immune to sleep, so obviously don't bother wasting any mana on that, or sorry, HP on that. Mana, who says that? Anyways, don't do that. Don't try to sleep him. You can cripple him though. He is not immune to cripple, just like all the other casters in this area. So that's always a good choice. And then what we got going here? Looks like I'm stunning the guy up in the front. Honestly, I think I would have probably just been better off hasting other people before I went into like this crippling. Well, who knows? Maybe not. It's hard to say. Usually, in a fight like this, it's a good idea to haste everybody up first, and then get the buffs going, and then heal up if you've taken, any decent amounts of damage. This might hurt a little. Oh yeah. All right. How are we doing? We doing all right? All right, sleeping target 2. Who's the lucky? What? Oh, okay. I either misclicked, or this was when I first discovered that those guys aren't, or they can't be slept. One of the two. Like I said earlier, though, is you can cripple them. So I would recommend doing that. Ooh, going with the war call. Okay. Nice. I like that skill. But now I can't remember the name of it. You should just use it. Anyways. It looks really cool. Oh yeah, here's a stun strike. Good thing I'm immune. Womp womp. Better luck next time, buddy. This actually ends up being one of the evil mode fights, and it's pretty cool. Oh, 99. So that is that's one cool thing to know about those casters, is that they are really weak against water, or vulnerable to water, however you want to say that. I still don't have Fellowship Might on, which is unfortunate. And I don't know how much I needed to focus on this guy up in the front left anymore, being that I know I'm immune to his stuns, but I guess it's not a bad idea still. Open range. That's the one. I don't know. That skill just looks really cool. Oh, a dodge. Lame. I wish that I would have opened up the, I don't know what you call it, like the battle status menu. Wow, 1,405. Okay, I'll take it. And wow, I'm really leaving my characters kind of low on health here. That's kind of, whatever, I guess. Look at all these misses. Oh, I just had to say it. Yeah, so I definitely don't have Company Might on, that's for sure. Fellowship Grace would be, or should be, restoring way more than it is. Anywho. Boom! Oh, well, Idriel's getting down there. May have to do a little. And Bearthor's just crafting away, no big deal. Oh, is that thing even alive still back there? That actually looks really cool. Using Loudwater Fury on the targets in the far back, And boy, have I brought Hadhod in here at all this entire round? I sure hope I do before this is over. Otherwise, I'm gonna kill everything. Alright, so like I mentioned in the other videos too, usually it's a good idea to wake these guys up with a crippling shot because it's gonna still delay their turn. Otherwise, if you just open, or if you wake them up with a regular attack, they will be able to attack you right away. And wow, look at mighty Hadhod with his epic whiffs. Oh well, I can't blame the guy. I don't put any points into his dexterity, so I can't really complain. It's my own fault. Sorry, Hadhod. Sorry, buddy. I'm not hating. I'm not a hater. Oh, here's some heals. Nice. Maybe I should say about time. I don't know. Oh, look at these misses. Missing all day. I'm not sure if the caster put a buff on these guys that makes them... I think it did. I think the when you play this in evil mode, you'll be able to tell for sure, but I'm pretty sure the casters have an ability that buffs the entire, or buffs all of them, and it increases the chances of them dodging. So that could be part of the issue here. You know, that compounded with the fact that my dexterity is absolutely atrocious on everybody but Elagast. Well, even Elagast, I guess, to a certain extent. Going for the cleaves again. There we go. Was that the third time? Was the third time the charm? Right. Hadhod level up. Not too bad. Excuse me. Oof. Got the hiccups.
Something comes.
The Balrog has found us!
Seek shelter. That creature seeks the wizard. We must reach them first.
Okay, a little run-in with the Balrog there. Obviously, check the troll's corpse for Barathor's. I don't know what are those? Is that leg armor or something like that? I think. Unfortunately, there's nothing else in this room, and I don't think you can go back the way you came. Which is okay. A-okay. And I think technically this is is this Eastern Moria now? I think, right? I don't know. Did we start in Western Moria? I think so. I think that's the progression. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You start from the west side and you go to the east side. East side. Alright, quest journal updated. So you get a bunch of quests for entering this area. And, let's see, let's level up Hadhod here. Alright, yeah, it looks like his speed is looking really good now. Oh, really, really good. Oh, it really helped with that axe. I forgot about that. I think that gives him 7 points or something like that. Alright. Ooh, what do we have here? Alright, so a ring. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'll take that. Although, I don't know. Maybe. 47. Alright, I'll lose 3 spirit, but I'll gain 2 dex. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Now that I think about it, there's a good chance that I didn't take that. Yeah, right? I don't think I equipped that. This is just a... Pretty sure this is just a basic upgrade here. Yeah. That's a no-brainer. That's a cool sword, too. Idriel's got quite a few really good-looking swords. Alright. We are officially in Western Moria. And I think it's time to do evil mode. Yes, I do believe it's time. Trying to remember this evil mode. I think the rewards are okay. It's either this one or the next one. The rewards are super. Actually, I think it is this one. Yeah, we'll see. Rewards are rewards. Alright, let's do it up. What do we have first? Ah, yes. Alright, so here it is. You get to play as the Watcher. And if I remember right, you just want to use Reeking Spout over and over. Because it's awesome. I kind of like the evil mode and how they... I don't know if I would say that they teach you how to play your characters at the same time. Like, you know, watching them play. Because I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. A lot of times the computer just does really stupid stuff. But at least you get to see... Sometimes you get to see some items that are... some skills that you don't necessarily have yet. And that's kind of neat. And sometimes some gear as well. And then sometimes they tease you with gear that you can never get. I'll point that out once we actually get there. Which, by the way, is super lame. But that's a discussion for another time. Alright, Hadhod finally goes down. Guy's just got so much health. Alright. I don't know if this looks familiar or not, but... Hold up. What the heck? We're missing a caster. Or did they kill him right away? What? No. Right? They didn't kill him without me seeing. Or am I going crazy here? Yeah, the 2 goblins in the back, and then the vet up front, the sword in the middle, and there should have been a caster on the in the front too. That's funny. That is this battle, but they gimped us. What's up with that? Those jerks. I guess it doesn't really matter, but come on. That's kind of funny, actually. Alrighty. Stun Strike is always awesome, obviously. You know, you're going to want to abuse that whenever you can. These guys are all such chumps, though, that they die so fast. Can't even really make use of it that much. Goblin thrust to the face. How do you like that, Hadhod? Alright, Third Age Mordor Orc Battle Shield. That thing is hideous. And what was the other thing? I wasn't paying attention. Cracked Elfstone of Shadow Protection, I'm betting. Excuse me. Alright, how'd you like that? What was that? Was that 2 fights? Seriously, 2 fights? Well, whatever. That whole area was kind of lame, so that's alright. I'm okay with a really fast evil mode. Anyways, I might as well wrap this up because it's not looking like there's much footage left here. So, alright, yeah, you'll get to see how ugly this shield is. I think I put that Elfstone on Barathor as well because he's got the worst defense against Shadow, I believe. Anyway, I guess we'll see if you stay tuned. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna cut this here. So hope these guides are helpful and hope you guys keep joining me. All right, thanks for watching.